The big question that I get asked a lot about podcasts is, should I do one a week or should I just do a series? So can you speak into the difference between doing a finite series and what's the value proposition there compared to an ongoing show, which might get better reach, but also is more commitment?
Yeah, great conversation that you're speaking into, so much so that we've created, and I say our agency, podcast agency and production company has actually created a standalone podcast series only for clients who want to be in the audio space, have their voice contribute, but have a finite series. And so we're using that exactly how you've said, as that opt-in, as that, people are hearing more about what their services or their expertise. And so opting in, because we put it together as a package, so there's, again, a strategy around that gets people onto their list and then generates leads. So you nurture that. There's a couple of things that you need to consider when you're thinking about a podcast. And that's why I called our program Podcasting with Purpose. So if you're going to do a series, this is what I say to people. You don't necessarily need a list to launch a podcast. You can have a list of 0, launch a podcast series, and then create a list of people who want to hear that content, and then you can continue to nurture them. And
quite a good list builder, isn't it? It's quite a good list builder.
That's right. And then when you're starting to generate interest and clients from that, and I know that works, because when I launched Women in Leadership podcast back in 2015, I had 3 shows on my website and I was the host. So I didn't share my expertise, but I was able to get 2 4-figure clients within, it actually was on the same day, within just 3 of those shows being launched. A lot of that had to do, I think, with the peripheral content, the blog posts that I had on my websites, because I spent a lot of time and energy in creating that thought leadership message there. But if you do it with the right strategy, you can start to really build momentum from the very first podcast if you create a series. And we do about a 3-part series. But what happens, and you can continue to use that, even if you're not intending yet to do an ongoing podcast. And, so some of my clients, what they're doing is they're having a URL and then /podcast series. Takes people to a squeeze page to get access to all of the 3 podcasts. There'll be transcripts, lots of other goodies within that, which is going to be relevant and different for every client. But then at any time you speak or you go to a media, so you might get on TV or radio or other podcasts, you might say to people, well, I've only just touched the surface. Subscribe to my podcast series. I dive deeper into that, and there's some checklists and templates to help you. Here's how you get access to that. And then you drive everyone back to your list, and then they can really engage with your content.